if I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you know, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want 200 million for Benavidez, and he want 150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him.
Maybe someone's reacted to that news, I don't know, or maybe it just fell through. But it sounds to me that the move to fight Jake Paul has just maybe derailed the other fight. But I don't blame Canelo Alvarez, because financially, the bigger fight is Canelo-Jake Paul. Because in that fight, you got two big stars. You know, in the other fight, you got two great fighters and one big star.
Terence Crawford has expressed his frustration with Canelo Alvarez after reports surfaced that their highly anticipated fight had been canceled. The two fighters were deep in negotiations, with Ring Magazine initially reporting that a deal had been reached for a massive showdown in Nevada this fall. However, recent reports now claim the deal has fallen apart, with both camps reportedly unhappy with the terms. Ring Magazine tweeted that the Canelo versus Crawford fight is officially off. The abrupt cancellation has led to intense backlash against Jake Paul, the YouTuber turned boxer, who many believe played a significant role in derailing the fight. Paul, who is facing criticism over his involvement in the sport, was called out on social media for allegedly distracting Canelo from the bigger fight with Crawford. One tweet from Peep Games accused Canelo of ducking Crawford, calling him the undisputed biggest coward in boxing history. Fans speculate that Canelo's rumored upcoming match against Jake Paul may have influenced the cancellation. Additionally, financial backer Turkey Alec has voiced strong disapproval of YouTubers entering the boxing world, arguing that they are undermining the sport's integrity.
And Terence Crawford, who should be a big star, but the reality is isn't. He's just an unbelievable fighter. So listen, everything can change overnight, as you saw.
Yeah.
So don't rule out Canelo Crawford. But as I'm hearing, Canelo Jake Paul is done, and I get it. Yeah, I'll watch it.
Mad old game. Eddie, always a pleasure, mate. Really appreciate the time.
Listen, back up your ideas.
Terence Crawford has openly expressed his frustration with Canelo Alvarez after the much-anticipated fight between the two boxing stars was reportedly canceled. The fight had been the subject of intense speculation and excitement for months, with both sides negotiating what could have been a historic clash in the super middleweight division. Fans eagerly awaited the showdown, particularly as Canelo Alvarez had the opportunity to challenge Crawford, who was seen as a serious threat to his legacy as one of the sport's best. Ring Magazine had initially reported that the fight was set to take place in Nevada this fall. However, just as quickly, the news took a dramatic turn when it was revealed that the fight had fallen apart due to disagreements between both camps. The reports indicated that the deal was no longer in place, and insiders speculated that the fight's cancellation could be tied to a series of factors, including terms in the contract and external distractions. The situation was further complicated by rumors surrounding Canelo's interest in a potential exhibition or tune-up match with YouTuber-turned-boxer Jake Paul, which many saw as a major distraction in the lead-up to the highly anticipated clash with Crawford. The speculation surrounding the fight's cancellation intensified when Canelo's willingness to entertain a match with Jake Paul came into the picture. Many fans and pundits have raised questions about Canelo's decision to entertain a matchup with Paul, given the vast difference in skill level between Paul and Crawford. Paul, whose boxing career has largely been built on social media fame, has faced criticism for his involvement in the sport, with many feeling that he is undermining the credibility of professional boxing. This discontent was amplified when reports of a potential Canelo-Paul matchup began circulating. It led to further tension between fans and fighters alike, with many criticizing Canelo for what they saw as a major distraction from a much more significant fight with Crawford. The fight between Canelo and Crawford was poised to be one of the biggest bouts in recent boxing history. Fans had eagerly anticipated the possibility of two of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world meeting in the ring. Canelo had long been the face of boxing, having achieved multiple world championships across various weight classes, while Crawford had earned his place as one of the sport's elite, especially after his dominant victories in the welterweight division. Fans hoped that Canelo would face Crawford as part of a move to reclaim his undisputed super middleweight status, which would have set the stage for a showdown between two future Hall of Famers vying for all 4 belts in the division. The news that the fight was no longer happening has sent shockwaves through the boxing community. While Canelo and Crawford were reportedly deep in negotiations, the growing frustration within the boxing world stems from the growing sense that these types of fights are often mishandled by promoters, and that the hype often exceeds the actual outcome. One boxing fan on social media vented their frustration, pointing out that the sport of boxing has become a joke due to the premature announcements and lack of firm agreements. "They got us all hyped up to break our hearts in pieces," one user lamented, reflecting the collective disappointment of fans who were led to believe they would finally witness a historic fight between two of the sport's finest talents. The announcement of the fight's cancellation has led to a wave of backlash, with many fans expressing their discontent over the situation. Some have suggested that the fight was derailed by contractual complications, speculating that the fine print in the deal may have contained clauses that created an obstacle for the fight to take place. One particularly intriguing theory involves a mandatory fight with David Benavidez, the super middleweight contender known for his aggressive fighting style. Benavidez has long been considered a top contender in the division, and his inclusion in the contract could have created additional complications, leading to the fight's cancellation. The fear was that whoever won the Crawford-Canelo fight would have had to face Benavidez next, adding an additional layer of risk and uncertainty to the potential matchup. Others speculated that Crawford may have dodged a bullet by avoiding a fight with Canelo. The idea that Crawford, a longtime welterweight champion, might struggle to cut to 168 pounds and face Canelo at that weight seemed to resonate with many fans. "Crawford dodged a bullet with that Canelo fight cancellation," one fan commented, acknowledging the difficulties Crawford would have faced in moving up to super middleweight. Many fans felt that fighting Canelo at 168 pounds would have posed an enormous challenge, one that could have potentially tarnished Crawford's legacy if the fight didn't go his way. While Crawford's reputation as one of the best fighters of his generation remains intact, fans are left wondering if the cancellation of the Canelo fight is a blessing in disguise. The possibility that Crawford may avoid a risky weight class and continue to fight in his natural division is seen by some as a way to preserve his legacy. The frustration is palpable, however, with many boxing fans feeling that this missed opportunity represents yet another disappointment in a sport that has often failed to deliver on its promises. The weight discrepancy between the two fighters was a major point of contention throughout the discussions. Crawford, whose dominant performances in the welterweight division have earned him numerous accolades, would have been moving up 2 weight classes to face Canelo, a seasoned super middleweight. This change in weight could have affected Crawford's performance and, potentially, his ability to compete with Canelo at his best. Adding to the complexity of the situation is the rise of other potential opponents for Canelo, such as Dmitry Bivol, the light heavyweight champion who famously defeated Canelo 2 years ago. With Canelo's focus shifting to other potential matchups, including a highly anticipated rematch with Bivol, the possibility of the Crawford fight becoming a reality appears to be slipping further away. Benavidez's recent victories and his growing reputation in the division have also played a role in shifting the boxing landscape, as some experts see him as a future opponent for Canelo as well. The entire situation highlights the growing frustration and disillusionment within the boxing community. Fans had hoped for a historic fight between Canelo and Crawford, but now that the fight seems unlikely to happen, the sport's future remains uncertain. The ongoing speculation and rumors only add to the confusion, leaving fans disillusioned and questioning the integrity of the sport. With the dream of a super middleweight showdown between Canelo and Crawford now seemingly dashed, boxing fans are left wondering what the future holds for these 2 pound-for-pound stars.
Confident are you, David, that you will fight the winner of Beterbiev Bivol?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. To be honest, the only thing that I'm thinking about is that if B-Ball wins this fight, like what they would have to do a rubber match. You know what I mean? And like I'm just like thinking, who am I to say that they can't fight another fight because they fought 2 great fights. So that's basically the only thing I'm thinking of right now. But I would, if that's something like that would happen, I think I wouldn't fight until they get that done with, and then I would move into that fight after they have a trilogy. So that's really the only thing I'm thinking right now.
That would be a long break for you. Like, let's say conceivably they fight again October. Who knows?
Crawford is on the verge of becoming a legendary 3-division undisputed champion. And if Alvarez is no longer in the picture, he could ignite a series of unification bouts. However, this could bring him face-to-face with Sebastian Fundora, with whom he has already exchanged words in an online sparring match. Many believe Crawford's technical brilliance would dominate in the ring, leading to doubts about whether Alvarez would take the fight, possibly fearing a 3rd career defeat. While fans admire Crawford's mastery, others remain captivated by Alvarez's exceptional boxing, particularly his precise body shots and solid defense. The thought of a career-first loss is daunting, especially with another equally skilled opponent in the neighboring ranks. What's the benefit of forcing a champion to move up 2 divisions for such a risky fight? Spectators will have to wait and see. Should David Benavidez emerge as the undisputed champion of the light heavyweight division, Canelo may find it increasingly difficult to avoid a showdown with
We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna rest and talk with my team. And like I say, everybody asking for everything. But and I always did. I always fight with everybody. You asking, so but right now I'm in the position I can ask him to. So I'm in the position I can ask him to, and I can do whatever I want, and we'll see what happens next.
Terence Crawford spent nearly a year advocating for a showdown with Canelo Alvarez, and both fighters recently met with Saudi boxing head Turki Alik in London to discuss the much-anticipated bout. Sources revealed that the terms for the fight were nearly finalized, and an official announcement was expected soon. During UFC 306 in September, both Crawford and Alik went live on Instagram, where Crawford seized the opportunity to challenge Canelo after his victory over Edgar Berlanga. "Yo, Turi, tell them we're going for Canelo next," Crawford said. Alik responded, "Yes, let's go, Canelo. Come on, we're ready." Crawford then added, "You heard it from him. Just put me in the game." Canelo versus Crawford, the biggest fight in boxing. But we stay ready, so we ain't gotta get ready. However, while fans are eagerly anticipating the Canelo-Crawford bout, the idea of Canelo facing Jake Paul has also gained attention. The reigning unified super middleweight champion fighting a former YouTuber with no legitimate fights on his record seems almost absurd. Yet, in today's world, this potential matchup is buzzing with speculation. Social media is flooded with rumors, making it a topic of serious discussion despite the ridiculousness of the situation.
Not official, but it may be a done deal. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford. Against Matt Rudolph, people are going to say, oh, he had some hiccups. Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Matt Rudolph was a little difficult to eat, he's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. When you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the. What was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter. Then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter.
The actual outcome of the rumored fight between Canelo Alvarez and Jake Paul is secondary at this point. What's truly astonishing is the frenzy the match has generated, solely based on rumors. This phenomenon speaks volumes about Jake Paul's undeniable flair for spectacle and his ability to stir up conversation. The buzz surrounding the potential showdown is a testament to the power of social media and how speculation can create a sense of anticipation, even without any official confirmation. In the midst of all the commotion, Shelbis the adult, a well-known boxing commentator, shared his perspective on the situation. He'd offered valuable insight into the rumored Canelo Crawford bout, stressing that the potential clash between the two elite fighters would dwarf any attention generated by a fight with Jake Paul. According to Shelbis, Canelo, known for his dominance in the sport, needs an opponent in May who poses no risk to his reputation. He explained that an unexpected defeat in a bout with someone like Crawford could be damaging to Canelo's legacy, which is why Canelo would want to avoid such a risk in the near future. Canelo's fight with Jake Paul, on the other hand, would carry no real threat, making it a safer option for the Mexican star. Despite the mockery and derision surrounding the idea of Canelo facing the YouTuber-turned-boxer, Shelbis pointed out that such a bout would likely generate more revenue than a fight with Crawford. "That's the world we're in," he said, emphasizing that even though fans criticized the fight, Canelo would still earn a substantial amount from it due to the sheer spectacle surrounding Jake Paul. Shelbis argued that the controversy alone, especially the backlash against Jake Paul, would ensure a massive turnout for the fight, as people love to show up to hate on Paul. Shelbis also mentioned how Paul's hatred and divisiveness have only grown since his high-profile bout with Mike Tyson. The disdain for Paul could play into Canelo's favor, as many would turn up to support the Mexican fighter in what they perceive as a chance to take down Jake Paul. According to Shelbis, some people might even see Canelo as a superhero for defending Tyson's honor, given Paul's public history with the former boxing legend. In this way, the fight's financial potential cannot be understated, as the sheer spectacle of Paul's persona could generate huge pay-per-view numbers. Ariel Helwani, a respected MMA journalist, also weighed in on the rumored fight between Canelo and Jake Paul. During a recent appearance on his show, Helwani discussed how Canelo's year is shaping up to be a huge one, with the potential for two massive paydays, one for a fight against Crawford and another for a bout with Paul. Helwani expressed excitement at the prospect of both matches, highlighting how each one could contribute to a landmark year for Canelo. "What a freaking year for Canelo Alvarez," Helwani remarked, pointing out that both fights would be significant in their own right. However, Helwani refrained from speculating on the truth of the rumors, simply acknowledging them as part of the ongoing conversation. In conclusion, while many boxing fans are disappointed by the speculation surrounding a potential Canelo-Paul matchup, the reality is that it could prove to be a financially lucrative move for Canelo. The fight against Paul might not have the technical allure of a Canelo-Crawford showdown, but it could offer a safer path with far fewer risks to Canelo's reputation and legacy. The ongoing discussion around the fight continues to generate debate, as both boxing insiders and fans alike express their opinions on whether this spectacle will come to fruition. What's clear is that Jake Paul's presence in the boxing world has transformed the sport in unexpected ways, and Canelo's involvement in such a fight could lead to one of the most controversial yet financially successful events in boxing history.